Okay, hello all you crazy people out there. My name is Dragonite and welcome back to Angels with Scaly Wings. This is probably it. So the crew has assembled. The Avengers have assembled as it were. And we're all not getting along with each other in the slightest. And by we I mean mostly Anna versus everyone else. So while we're waiting for the fireworks show to start, we're having a bit of a back and forth about the degree of legal trouble that Anna is in. And if you want a short recap, Lorem is the one saying we need to not deal with this right now, and everyone else is saying we need to deal with this right now. So Adine is under the impression that we don't even need her help. She can just leave as far as I'm concerned. If I'm going, I take my shocker with me. So Anna's got a bargaining chip. Lorem, once again, would rather we don't do this. I want to know what happened, says Remy. I suddenly feel the need to like, announce who's saying what line, because there are 6 of us in the room here right now. Adine, you'd rather know and let her walk. She's already being investigated. Let the wheels of justice do their work. See, stupid, I just can't catch a break with these people, even when I'm here to help you. She may walk anyway. This infraction was so tiny that she just may be able to put a spin on it that makes her look like the victim, just like last time. If she tells us what really happened, then that's something we'll always know about her, and we can be sure she won't do anything like it again. So now you're planning to resort to blackmail. Remy, just saying, if you want someone to tell you something, that's probably not the best way to go about that. You know what? Do whatever the heck you want. I don't care. Just make up your damn minds. I want to know. Me too. Lorem, Adine, I don't like this. You and me both. Alright, let's hear it. The majority have spoken. Okay, so it's time for more exposition. Which, 20 minutes ago I might have groaned at, but now that we are where we are, I'm suddenly very interested in where this is going. It all started when I decided to look for new angles to tackle cancer. Since I occasionally work with the police, I got a phone call that they received from the victim of some sort of accident. As the victim had no family or relatives... Oh, I see where this is going. As the victim had no family or relatives, there was no one who would object to her body being used for research purposes. Usually this wouldn't be anything special, but she wasn't just her usual victim. Is this your friend? Anna. She was pregnant. Oh, okay. This is someone else. For me, this opened up a lot of possibilities. Usually the council wouldn't allow fertilized eggs to be used for research, but here we were talking about a few fertilized egg cells that hadn't even formed an eggshell yet. They would have perished quickly if I hadn't noticed that she was technically pregnant. As an egg-laying species, interestingly enough. I submitted my forms for the various research and started my work. Since the material was very sensitive, there wasn't really time to wait for approval, as it would have put the whole experiment at risk. Either way, I was sure the paperwork would go through, and I had other things to worry about than what some busybodies would think of my work. My approach was to tinker with the fertilized egg cell's DNA in order to create a living organism whose immune system would be strong enough to combat cancer all on its own. Anna, China has made people mysteriously disappear over lesser charges. Once it hatched, I could make a few transplants, and a new way to fight cancer would be born. In order to ensure compatibility with myself, I spliced in some of my own DNA, enough that it would be considered a member of my own species rather than the parents'. The results of my experiment was incubated in an artificial eggshell, and then it was just a matter of time before it grew up and we could see if the procedure was a success. For some reason or another, however, my proposal became public matter. Which I assume everyone else in the room knows right now, except for me, because she hasn't told me. Proposals like that needed the council's approval could be seen by anyone and were open to discourse, but people usually didn't care about them unless they had some experience in the field. Not so in my case. Once the media got a hold of it, rumors ran amok about what I was going to do. People fixated on small details and exaggerated the procedures outlined in the experiment, as they have occasionally done. People, that is. Self-appointed do-gooders who thrive on outrage made a smear campaign against me, and due to all the ensuing controversy, my proposal was ultimately rejected. It was a shame that an experiment like mine, one that could help countless patients, both current and future, could be shut down like this, but there was more. Some people were watching me, and they knew I was doing something in my lab. A group of city council-approved scientists were going to come to my lab to discuss alternative strategies for what I was going to do, but I knew it was partly a setup in order to check that everything going on in my lab was legitimate. By this point, an egg was already substantially developed. Knowing of their visit and that my experiment was now illegal, I had to get rid of it somehow. I would have smashed it if I could, but the fetus inside was already too big to make it vanish easily. Anna. In the end, I decided to leave it on someone else's doorstep, disguised as an egg left by unwanting parents. See, there was... The whole affair got the police department in a lot of trouble too, because it was us who gave you the material. Don't you have a single shred of decency within you? Now, let's not have any arguments here. Good luck with that. I could have done much worse than leaving it on someone's doorstep. Besides, don't expect any goodwill from me if you never showed any either. Hey, we were on your side during that whole thing, remember? Yes, but only because I saved your ass more times than I can count. No one, not a single person, has ever been nice to me just for the heck of it, except for stupid. Leaving an egg on someone else's doorstep is such a horrible thing to do. Like, you would have done anything differently in my position. Anna, you're talking about the one who visits kids for fun. You're talking to the one who visits kids for fun. That sentence would have been more meaningful if I'd gotten it right the first time. I would have owned up to my mistake, because I know how these children end up. And how they have to grow up if they don't get adopted within a few years, doomed to be nobody's children. You spliced your own DNA in, so you're basically its mother, yet you didn't hesitate to throw your child away when it became an inconvenience to you. Actually, it's more of a clone. Did it have a name, or was it just a product for you, a failed experiment? Well, she did have a name. I even scribbled it on her eggshell before I left it. Wait a minute. It would have been about the same time, but... What was the name? Why do you even care? They probably found her. She went to a nice family and lived happily ever after. End of story. What was her name? If you really want to know, it was Emily. Yeah. Not surprised that she came back. Do we get to see her again? I haven't seen Emily in, like, ages. I know her. She's been living in the orphanage all her life while you went on with yours without a care in the world. Why even that name? After the mother, I guess. Now that you mention it, I think the victim's name was a bit different. Amelia. Frozen to death during a winter night. Okay, so these stories are tying together. I hate to interrupt with commentary here, because this is semi-serious, but because I know I'm going to forget later. I said earlier that I kind of wanted people's stories to kind of interact with each other more not too long ago. And that's actually happening, so that's pretty cool. I just said, alright, you know what? I gotta think before I open my mouth or something. Alright, I'll try and, like, condense all of my thoughts on the story for, like, the end, when the credits roll for the final time. Let's get on with it. Amelia, that was it. Froze to death during a winter night, if I recall correctly. Remy, I'm sorry. What? Remy, I never told you about this, but shortly before she died, Amelia found out she was pregnant. Okay, yes, Remy and Dean were also, they had that commonality as well. That means you... Quick saved. Where is she? Don't worry, Remy, she's being taken care of in the orphanage. We can go there once this is over. I want to go there right now. I'm not sure if that's a good idea. Yeah, if you're going to meet here, it'll take some preparation, and you shouldn't see her when you're like this. Besides, we should be focusing on Reza right now. This is more important. I think it's time to go anyway. Let's do this. Okay, so this is an odd thing to bring up right now, but I think this is kind of coming back to Lauren being a late addition to the cast of characters. Bryce, Anna, Remy, and Nadine obviously all had a lot of back and forth going on there, and Remy was kind of just telling everyone to keep a level head and remember what they're up against. Which, I mean, I would have too, but he didn't interact as much with everyone else as the other four did. And I have to wonder if that's because of the being a late addition to the story. So we're in the underground base, and yeah, aren't those doors? Aren't there places that you all can hide in while I take this guy on or something? So I went inside, trying to remember the room the generator was in. Luckily, I had plenty of time, and when I found it, I packed it up in a cardboard box that was lying around, just as Reza had done so many times before. Then I waited. Without knowing the various conversations we had in other timelines when we met here, I could think about what I was going to say and what his likely response would be. I also found it interesting that this time, I could be the one who was here first. After a while, I heard footsteps outside. As if on cue, I took the box with the generator and opened the door. Reza, you're here. You don't know how glad I am to see you. Oh, this is like looking in a mirror. I wanted to talk with you for so long. Where have you been all this time? You wouldn't believe me if I told you. But talking can wait. Have at you. Now that we're here, we've got everything. Come, help me with this, and let's just get out of here. Reza walked up to me and grabbed the other end of the box. Slowly, we made our way through the building. I can't wait to get out of this place. It gives me the creeps. How so? Ever since I arrived here, a lot of weird things have happened. I don't like it. What are you talking about? Something strange is going on in this world. When I close my eyes, I see things. Things that have never happened, and things that later turned out to be true. Do you know what I'm talking about? Nah. Oh, he saw through that one. So you do. How is that possible? I don't know, Reza. I had my own reasons for coming here today. I knew now would be the best time to take the generator and leave for the portal. What about you? They aren't looking for you too, are they? Why can I not get through a recording session for this story without getting interrupted? It is now tomorrow morning, and I really want to finish this game because I don't want to be doing this forever. Okay, so... recapping, Reza, we are trying to convince Reza that we are on his side, and we are telling him that the dragons believe I'm on their side, because that's not confusing at all. Actually, it's not. I don't know why I made it out to sound like it was. So, what are you doing here? I had a feeling you'd be there. I figured it out just like you did. We can't wait for them to build us new generators, considering they took the PDAs and the generators back from you. It's more fair that we take this as payment and be done with it. Okay, so we're the double agent here. What is it? Something's not right here. Oh, it was all for nothing. Suddenly, he let go of the box, making me put it down. He took a few steps back before he grabbed his gun and pointed it at me. Reza, what's wrong with you? How could you even know the last time... How could you even know the time I was going to be here? Because of the fireworks, we both knew they gave us perfect cover to do this now. No, that's not it. We've both been here before. I remember us carrying the box out together, and that time you killed me with my own gun. That's unfortunate. I was going to say something else there during that long pause, and then I forgot what it was, so I settled for that. Reza, what are you talking about? It's like coming back to me now. There's not been a single time when you actually wanted to help me. The girl with the mask, where is she? Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answer to, God. Reza turned around just in time to see the administrator tackle him to the ground. I ran towards them, but in the scuffle, a few gunshots were fired. The telltale hiss of the generator sounded through the hallway. I turned around and ran towards the exit while both Reza and the administrator scrambled to their feet and followed me. I will wait for the screen shake to die down before I attempt to read that text. When we were all outside, I was stripped off my feet as the generator exploded. Recovering from the fall, I looked up, only to see Reza running towards the portal. Today is not his day, is it? Suddenly, Adine swooped in from behind and collided with Reza. He stumbled and fell to the ground while Adine regained her balance and ascended, attempting a circle to face him again. They're just letting him have it. Reza stood up and raised his gun at her while Maverick suddenly pounced out of nowhere and pinned him to the ground. Bryce was running towards them when Maverick looked at Reza, growling. Don't kill him, Maverick. Why not? After what he's done to you, you're not letting him get off the hook that easily, are you? Let me cuff him. Go ahead. When I arrived, Reza was already secured and ready to go. He spotted me, his face contorting with anger. How could you do this to me, to everyone? You have no idea what I had to do to get here, to get this close to bringing the generator home to our people. I'm not going to attempt to do that voice for, like, ever, because I have no idea how I even did it that time. If you had only helped me instead of them, we could have done it too. Where were you when that bastard of a dragon bit me? When I couldn't do anything but lie in pain the whole day with the festering wound, huh? Or when I waited for you at the portal a week ago, ready to leave with the parts I stole to repair it? When I shot my gun a few times, hoping you'd hear it so we could escape together? I risked everything and waited for you. Maverick nearly got me that time, too. I could have left without you if I wanted. I had everything I needed, but I didn't want to just leave you behind. That sounds like a you problem, buddy. Should I shut him up? No, let him talk. You said we would do anything, that together we could save humanity. All those teleportations messing with our heads. Don't you remember our plan? I never forgot about our plane, Reza. I just wanted to give I just wanted the dragons to be a part of it too. What are you gonna do now, huh? You'll see. Humanity's going to be fine, and so are you. Take him away, Bryce. I just want to know one thing. Who really sabotaged the portal? That was me. I knew it was Reza who was stealing the generators, so the least I could do was to prevent him from sending them to humanity and escaping through the portal. As long as it didn't run, he could never completely get away from us. Say it. You were right about nearly everything, Maverick, just not about stupid. Still, it took extraordinary amount of bravery and courage to do what you did. Who knows how it all would have turned out if it wasn't for you. It feels so strange now, but it's like I just had to follow Reza. That even I knew where to go and where I could find him. I followed my intuition, but the longer I kept pursuing him, the more I thought I was going crazy and that it might mean my end if I decided to go down this path. Maybe that wasn't just your intuition. Come on, do you want to, come on. Do you want to help me show Reza his new cell? It would be my pleasure. So that takes care of that. Just as they went off with Reza, I saw Remy and Lorem approaching. Izumi was leaning against Remy while they walked up to us together, her overalls bearing a large red stain in the center. Those are not overalls. She needs help fast. I tried to give her some first aid, but I don't think it did much. Based on those wounds, I'm not sure if anyone can help her now. She's right, I won't be around much longer, and there are still things I need to tell and show you, stupid. Maybe I could carry you. No, we have to go alone. Alright, can you all wait for me here? Please, just don't start arguing again. There would be no point now that we've stopped Reza, it's all good. She actually managed to convince Maverick not to kill him. Ex-boyfriend and he still listens to me, isn't that funny? I could tell you about Emily while we wait. That would be lovely. I didn't write down any notes on the plot or anything, but I really hope I managed to get them all straight at the end when I finally get a period of time to talk about them uninterrupted. Okay. Izumi led the way while we walked through the unfamiliar territory. Maybe I should start by telling you that I haven't been exactly truthful with you. Whatever it is, I'm sure it's fine. Still, now that we're all here, I think I should tell you everything. When I was accidentally sent back in time, I wasn't alone. What are you talking about? Did you really think a single person could have accomplished everything I told you about, and single-handedly figure out time travel along the way? Hey, I just kind of assumed that was, like, visual novel writer's license. I know I'm not the only one, right? We were an elite team sent to break new ground. There were 4 of us. Heinz Foreman, geneticist and project lead. He looks like a mad scientist. Just, there's no question about that. Sybil Thomas, behavioral specialist. Francis Boulderun, military advisor. And last me, Otomo Izumi, engineer and maintenance crew. What were those names? I'm trying to think if I've seen them before in, like, the bookshelf or anything, but I don't think I have. No, I'm pretty sure I haven't seen any of those names before. Okay. This is the kind of job that's so top secret that I wouldn't even be surprised if we were all killed after we hand over the data. Good thing we're not expendable, huh? You think they're sending us into the middle of nowhere without seeing us as expendable? Alright, well, we'll listen to what Izumi has to say in the next video. My name is Dragonite, and I will see you all later.